Good afternoon. You're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to read this because just wanted to make sure that all our points, what we actually do, comes out. Good afternoon, everyone. I would love to say thanks to the Primary Healthcare Network for holding this event today and giving us an opportunity to speak. My name is Beth and I have been a palliative care volunteer in the Maitland area for the past 8 years. It has been an honour and a privilege. As a palliative care volunteer, I provide companionship and emotional support to people and their family members facing end of life. This support is personalised and is always led by the client and their family, depending on their needs. We take the time to talk about what it is that they need, what might be missing from their support team, and ask, how can we help them achieve greater peace as they near the end of their lives? This, of course, is different for each and every family. Volunteers are a sounding board for clients to express how they are feeling regarding personal pain, loneliness, family dynamics, and life experiences. We are there to be with them. We are on their side, a team member, another person in their corner. We sit, we listen, we hear, and we understand. Many palliative care volunteers have their own personal experiences of losing loved ones, and this can be a driver to help others in similar situations. We understand that for this person, it is so much more than about dying. It is their loss of a driver's licence, their mobility, their clear mind, their ability to socialise, their hobbies, interests, perhaps are no longer pursued. Leaving the house, going for a walk in the sunshine, giving up their home, their car, personal possessions, their independence. Finances can also become a concern if it has not already. It is the loss of all these normal everyday things that makes it so difficult for people. It can be a very frightening and fearful time. They need to talk about it, and they need someone with the time to listen, really listen, without judgment, without answers, and without any sort of an agenda. We sometimes find our clients are not able to talk and share openly with their family. This can be because of many reasons: family dynamics, minimal family members, busy lifestyles, poor coping periods, being uncomfortable with talking about death and dying. Thinking and talking about losing their loved one is hard. Volunteers are not afraid to have these hard conversations. In fact, we think they are freeing, but only when the person is ready. We listen and we encourage them to talk. They lead the conversations. Often people say more than the words they speak, and if you listen carefully, you can pick up the depth of what they're really concerned about. You can see it in their eyes, demeanour, and body language. When a person starts to open, I've found that it is a type of permission to go deeper and to ask those questions. So I take this opportunity to draw out the depth of what is really going on within them. It is a very lonely and isolated time for them. No one else is going through what this person is going through. It is such a privileged and special moment for a volunteer to be there with them. It is something you cannot put any sort of value on for both the client and ourselves. It may sound weird, but I now have many beautiful and memorable times with the people I've cared for over the years. Volunteers not only support the clients, but the whole family. We are there for them too. We understand carers are under a lot of pressure and stress. We can help them as they start to walk through the grief process. It's already begun for them. They need a safe place to share, just like the client does. Grief usually begins when a person receives a life-limiting diagnosis. Grief is multi-layered and multifaceted. Grief is not simple. Volunteers learn a great deal about grief during their training. Each client and situation is different. There is a lot of on-the-job training. There's one client I had, and he was a beautiful man. He was 85 years of age. And he'd never, ever, ever shared with anybody his life story. And yet he shared with me. I only had him for a matter of months, but it was very, very special. And I got to know some of his family. And I remember I saw him the night before he died. The next morning, I had a knock on the front door to say that he'd passed. Now, one of the things that was quite beautiful is that his daughter was able to lay on the bed with him, and they shared, and that's how he passed. The son that was there was intellectually handicapped, and he found it much harder. But at least she could say goodbye to her dad, and it was very, very, very special. So these things happen like that. It's beautiful. Each person's experience of pain, frustration and disappointment and anger are all different, and it is hard for me when they are verbalising their pain. All I can do is listen, care and help them to let their feelings out. Sometimes it can be the painful family situation. Clients share all sorts of personal stories with volunteers: photographs, mementos, family history, travel, hobbies, past occupations. This is viewed by a volunteer as a deep personal level of sharing. Some volunteer organisations like ours also offer a biography service where volunteers are trained to record life stories, special memories, life events, and this can be published as a beautifully bound book, leaving a lasting keepsake for the family. Volunteer services can also provide clients with community outings, transport to medical appointments and respite for carers. All families and needs are different, and quality of life becomes our focus. We help by working out what people need to make them feel like they are living right up until the time it is for them to go. A good death seems like a contradiction in terms, but that is what we aim to achieve. Building those fulfilling moments in a client's final days may help comfort and ease the burden of tears and sadness the families leave behind, for the families who are left behind. Good will be remembered in this world when the sadness begins to fade. Memories can be beautiful even with grief. I'd like to finish up by quoting this from Mother Teresa. In this life we cannot do great things. We can only do small things with great love. And I just want to add too, I guess we can fill the gaps in people's lives because we have the time. We're retired, we're available, it's what we do. And I know that hospitals are always so busy, people are busy, families are busy, and at least we can fill that very, very important gap of time. And one thing you find constantly, the clients just so appreciate just our presence. They're very, very special people. I thank you for listening today. Thank you.